Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome back to the 21st episode of the West Ham save. I have some bad news, and I'd like to really apologise. I know this save has been a little bit bumpy, and that has continued as the final episode of season 2 only recorded the first game, and it was a very boring game, so there was about 13 minutes of it. If you'd like that to be uploaded, you can. I'm happy to show you, but nothing really happened. Um, it ended pretty much as you'd expect when you finish off the 20th episode. I'm happy to show you right now. We beat Brighton 3-2, which confirmed our spot in third place, and then lost 2-0 to Everton, where we played a couple different players such as David Otto. But you may notice who I've started on, and that is Johnny Quinn, who has been signed on a free transfer from Tranmere. Reason being is, though he isn't officially, this guy is most certainly my son. So, I'm a Tranmere fan, born in Liverpool. I don't have any Irish things. And my name in this is Joey Quinn, who, yes, is born in Birmingham. I don't know why he's born in Birmingham. I just kind of gave him some random shit. Um, who was an old club, like an old legend of mine, well before YouTube ever started. But everything about this guy is my son. Same style of names, the J Quinn with the two N's, Tranmere, Liverpool. So I've signed him because I'm gonna kind of informally have this guy as my son, and maybe he'll make a couple of appearances here and there. He's a no-nonsense centre-back, 11 tackling and 16 aggression. What more could you need? Beautiful locks of hair, big old beard. I'm a big fan. So yeah, that's our son. Anyway, we are in the third season now. Again, I'm very sorry for the fact that for some reason it only recorded the first game, which to be fair was the big win, so maybe I do post that. Anyway, do you know what? I might post this at 1 p.m. and I'll post kind of the latter bit of that. It's like a secret little episode. Do you know, another half episode? Anyway, let's talk about what has happened in this transfer season. So, first off, who got relegated and who got promoted? Well, the newly promoted teams are as such. We have Wolves, who have came back. We also have Sheffield United and Middlesbrough making their long-awaited returns to the Premier League. As for those who were relegated, there was... no. Crystal Palace, Leicester and Southampton have all gone back down, and maybe somewhere there might be a little player or two we might sign, as we still have a lot of money heading towards transfer deadline day. I like to try and keep my money and scout and get a better idea of the squad. But without a doubt, Crystal Palace, the likes of Tommy Doyle, Eberetzes there, oh, let's not talk about him, and Luka Jovic, definitely am interested in Palace. And then guys like James Justin maybe down at Leicester. They're all definite ideas for some of the players who could join. But let's talk about the transfers. This is a big one. Anatoly Trubin has been wanted by Bayern Munich this entire transfer window. We've set him as very much a £100 million player, and you'll notice there we did actually accept a transfer offer for him, which is £70 million, £106 million altogether, and we accepted the deal. And I'll show you who we went into to replace him, but they were not happy with the Trubin wasn't happy with the contract. He never really wanted to leave this squad. And you notice down there, one of the players who may be getting brought in for £55 million is Myron van Brederode, who we have been keeping an eye on for both of the last two seasons. We've been waiting and seeing how he performs. I feel like now is the time to maybe take that bet, but he's not getting great playing time for AZ Alkmaar. and it does feel like there's someone ahead of him. So I'm not sold on him, but I've offered him, and I'm gonna sort of have this game and maybe another game to decide how important is he. Let's talk about the actual transfer history. Let's first, who was released? Alex Smithies retired. Of course, Joe Hart also retired. Michael Antonio, that was all the season before. So both of our goalkeepers did leave the squad. Gideon Kadewa, who was a talented youngster, has gone to QPR. Not much to that. Vladimir Sufal officially signed to Wolves after the somewhat turbulent season last year. Still a very talented player, one of the best right backs we had. But João Mario was never going to be dropped, and it was clear Sufal wanted first team football after a very good Europa League campaign in that first season. Another big moment, Konstantinos Mavropanos has left to Atletico Madrid for £21.5 million. Another great player. Again, needed a little bit more consistent game time. Last year, barely made an appearance, only 5 starts in the league, 12 starts altogether. He deserves a lot better. And last season, again, like the season before that, he wasn't playing as much as a player of his quality really deserves, because he has been a very formidable player for us. Young goalkeeper Alexei Rojas Fedorchenko also left the squad. I was a big fan of him. I didn't want to let him go, but in the end, all good things must come to an end. Saeed Benrahma went to Fiorentina, went out on loan last season to the relegated side Crystal Palace, where he would be solid but not special, and that was kind of his story the entire time we've used him, and most of his time at West Ham in real life as well. A clearly talented, very good technical player, but it never quite worked out for him at West Ham, and I'm sure he'll thrive in Italy, which suits his styles a lot better. Devan Mubamba went out on loan to Barnsley. A player who I'm a big fan of was out on loan at Coventry last season in the Championship, but he didn't perform well, so he's gone down another league, and hopefully he can get some confidence and really start to improve. But in 2 appearances, he's still yet to get a goal in League One, so it looks like he may have his career soon to come to an end. Maxwell Cornet has left to Crystal Palace, a player who again was good but needed more game time, needed more consistent game time, and was beginning to be a little bit outdated in this squad. As we've improved and signed bigger and better players, guys like Cornet are becoming a little bit of an outdated idea for us. So £10 million for him, but the big one, and it broke my heart, for £33 million, Patson Daka has gone to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and we will be facing him, of course, this season. I'm gutted to lose him. He was a key player for us for over the past few years, but he just couldn't get an inch of game time last season. We have too many world-class strikers for Daka to really break into this squad. And knowing what we know now with just how good our new striker is, there was no reason to have him and just let him rot. He needs to go out and prove just how amazing he really can be. So let's talk about the players in. Daniel Iverson, you'll know from Leicester fame, has joined the squad after a decade at the Midlands side. A decent goalkeeper, clearly just signed to be a backup. It's nothing special, but he's someone there. If there's injuries to Trubin, we've got something. We also signed another goalkeeper, Pierluigi Gallini from Atalanta, who has spent basically his entire career as the backup reserve goalkeeper. £1.2 million for a solid goalkeeper. He is the number 2. And I think he's absolutely fine. You know, just as it says there, emergency backup. He's not wanting to play any cup games. Trubin is going to lead the line, but if there's injuries, and we know injuries to goalkeepers are common, we've got Pierluigi just in case. Now let's go into the big signings. For £20 million, George Elenikinya has joined. I believe we spoke about that in the 20th episode. He is 19 years old, was rated number 2 of the top 50 young players in the world after an amazing season for Antwerp last year. 36 starts, 18 goals to his going to goal every other game, 2 assists, 3 player of the matches, and for £20 million, he has joined us. Hopefully, he can keep his form going and be a real star. £16,000 per week. Again, we try and keep these wages low. I have a very strict sort of wage policy, at least in my opinion, and I think George Eleni Kenya is that guy. And lastly, Rodrigo De Paul has joined. We needed some quality on the left side after selling Cornet and Benrahma, with Doku also going back to Manchester City. So it was Rodrigo De Paul I decided to go for because of his versatility. Yeah, he isn't great physically anymore. At 31 years old, he's definitely beginning to lose a little bit of what made him great. But I felt like, and I really felt like this last season, we needed leaders, we needed veteran experience, and we needed guys who can come in and be a big name and a shirt attractor and someone who can kind of help lead this squad and be the man behind the scenes and the man in the dressing room who can really help capitalise on this young squad who've got all the potential and the talent in the world, but keep on falling short of that big margin. So Rodrigo De Paul is that man. He's very, very talented, can play wherever's needed. If there is injuries to midfielders, if there's injuries to wingers, if there's injuries to second strikers, all of that can be sorted by Rodrigo. And that leaves us with this squad, and it's a very familiar squad. Anatoly Trubin. Oh my god. Some of these transfers, I was wondering, we made more than that. Yeah, no, there's definitely more than that. We signed a couple of players in on a free deal, but we sold, of course, what was his name? Mavropanos. And so Umar Saleh joined. That was a bit of a jump scare there. I wanted someone who was very, very similar to Naya Figueroa, to Jean-Claire Todibo, to Mavropanos. And I was looking through, and Umar Saleh popped up. He was not wanted by Juventus anymore. I think it was an argument over wages and playing time. So I brought him in. I promised him that playing time. Not for much money at all. £12 million. He's the cheapest first team player we've signed in a long time. And he is so good at so many key things. Now, will he be our starting centre back? I'm unsure. We're giving him game time right now to figure that one out. He already had a negative. I worry. What is one? No strong feelings about the squad. Okay. His tackling, I would like to be a little bit higher. I'd love for his mentals to be a lot better. But a lot of these things, so his passing, his marking, and more than anything, these physical attributes, 6'4", and everything is 14 besides jump and reach. It's so amazing. And I think Mavropanos was 6'4". I think Aguirre is 6'4". So I clearly wanted to keep that. The set pieces are key. You know, he can get goals. We had so many from Todibo last season. Soleil, I feel like, can be that answer. If we're going to be more on the front foot, the passing was important, the positioning was important, the composure, and the set piece ability. So in comes Umar Soleil, but we also made a couple last ditch sales. Christian Hegyi would leave, no one cares, but Flynn Downs did leave. And I'm a big fan of Flynn Downs, so I was gutted to see him go. He's a genuinely very talented player, but sadly, at 26 years old now, there isn't time to develop him, and he needs first team football at the top level. He's not really played in the Premier League at all. He got 9 appearances and 21, but so many of them are substitution appearances. 1 star for us the entirety of last season, and of course he asked to be sold, so he's gone to Watford for £6.5 million, all the way down in League One now, Watford, and that's pretty big news. We also sold Andy Irving, who again I'm a big fan of, but he spent the last few years over in Austria. He's gone to Southampton for £6.5 million. Another pretty solid midfielder, just sadly too old to develop. And last but not least, Callum Marshall's gone on loan to Wrexham, who I'm guessing are in League One. No, they're still in League Two. He's again an exciting young striker, but just might be a little bit behind the line. Now, I do have a couple little things to show you before we go too deep into this. I've also a couple of notes. Some of them I don't understand. We went in for Nicolas Gonzalez, but that one didn't quite work out. I felt like he was a great option to play off these wings. Not too much to matter about him, but there was another Manchester United player we went in for, and he's down here. And see, he wants to leave because United are not in the Champions League right now. They're not even in the Europa League. They finished their year last season all the way down in 10th place. So, Onana, desperate to leave. They are horrifically in debt, £150 million. Maybe we move to United to try and save them. But, Anatoly Trubin, when I accepted that deal, I needed someone. And it was Andre Onana, and we had a deal, we had everything set. It was around £50 million, quite a lot of money on wages. Yeah, Onana was that man. But there was someone much bigger and much different who very nearly joined. His name is Lionel Messi from Inter Miami. That's right. There was an option that I could have signed Lionel Messi. They wanted about 25 million, but they're more than happy to accept £5 million. That's how easy it is. It's the wages and it's the realism that is costing me. And should I sign him? Because I need a bit of real unbelievable ability on the wings. We've got some great players, but no one who stands out the way a 38-year-old Lionel Messi still could. So yeah, he was an option. There's part of me wishing I signed him. There's part of me very thankful I didn't. Now, for some reason, I've typed in the word gay. Like this. No. And I want to know who on earth it was I went in for. Because there's someone there who I clearly either tried to sign or who was angry at me. And I've got no clue. Yeah, no idea. I'll show you a couple of these guys. João Mario wanted to leave. Yeah, he's requested to be put on the transfer list. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, I thought he was happy. But yeah, he wanted to leave this club. Got absolutely no clue. As for the rest of the players here on the shortlist, these are the ones interested. Lionel Messi is actually interested in signing. Lazar Samadic is a great player and I'd love to sign him. But he just didn't. I don't know. There was something about him. I don't know if it was wages. What was it that stopped me? Yeah, £155,000. And I just can't. I can't feasibly bring myself to spend that much money on him. Who else? Evan Ferguson, still a very real possibility to join this squad. But anyway, back to the starting 11. Sorry, that was a bit of a tangent. Trubin, in goal. Aït-Nouri, Soleil, Todibo and Mario are our back four. Souček, Ward-Prowse and Kudish, the midfield trio. Kudish moved from that striker position back to the midfield, allowing McTominay and Hackney to have a little bit less involvement on this season, as both of them have the ability to be very unreliable, but it also allows us to have Petr Rakov lead the line, which is key in this team. We want this young man to be a monster. Last season, he was unbelievable. Signed in January, and in 9 starts, got 9 goals with 3 man of the matches. He is that damn good. A 7.13 average rating, only 21 years old. Everything about him screams potential star. So I needed to drop Kudish to allow Rakov to shine. He wasn't playing his best football on that left hand side. So the midfielder is for Mohamed. Gonzalo Borges will try and perform well on this left-hand side. Last season, he did not. It was a really poor year. After how good he was for Porto over the last 2 seasons, I thought he'll be something a little better in the £43 million man. It hasn't came yet, but there's still a chance for the 24-year-old to shine. Bowen keeps his position on this right-hand side. Marcus Edwards, sadly, not in the squad just yet. He always has the chance to break in them. And Rakov leads the line with our bench being Galini, Aguirre, Emerson, Samu, Hackney, McTominay, Edwards, Diaz, and Elena Kenya. So, let's get into this match against Leeds. It's a big one as we need to really prove that we are title contenders. Because for right now, we're still predicted to finish all the way down in 9th place. We've got 2 Champions League finishes and they still think 9th place is acceptable. And by the way, Arsenal wanted us and we said no. We are staying with West Ham until we win something at least. So yeah, Arsenal, not even a thought about it before we rejected them. So, leads the squad as I'm going to have a little drink here. Leads the squad very similar to the one we see in real life today. We should be a million miles better than Leeds United. Come on, boys. Oh my God. Come on. Yeah, I have no idea why I writ that down. Because I think I assumed I'd know it immediately. Because I writ Trubin / Onana, Messi and Mario. And I just, for some reason I thought, oh yeah, he'll know that immediately. I had no clue what I meant by Mario. It was a long time ago that I made that video. Yeah, I've got no clue. Anyway, Ait-Nouri to Kudos, who I do actually really like in this midfield spot. I didn't bother showing you pre-season because it just doesn't matter, and I didn't want to spend 20 minutes talking about things that happened off screen, which meant that it would take, it just takes too long to actually watch the episode and see, rather than telling you how good this team is, show you, this team is title contenders. Here's Jared Bowen, pulls it back, Gonzalo Borges can't get there. I am expecting a lot from Borges. It's either he performs or Van Broderode joins. That's how big it is right now. Ait-Nouri finds Jared Bowen. That is how a winger plays. Beautiful goal. Rakov and Mario both have slight injuries. I hope they can shake them off. But we are 1-0 up against Leeds. And it's Ryan Ait-Nouri with the assist. What a signing he's been. And that's why it's always good. Look at the guys who got relegated. Because there will be some quality there. And they'll be far too cheap. Ward-Prowse. Another player signed from a relegated side. But we lose the ball. And it is Brendan Amundsen on it. Mario dived in the pick. Crazy. Bowen tries to play it a little bit too short. Gray on the ball now. Jack Harrison, the ex-Man City man, swings it all to Lewis Sinister at the back post and it's headed just wide. Oh. I'm expecting a big result here, so it's nervy when I see Leeds with the potential to equal things up. And the first half's not going to be all that exciting. And to be honest, Leeds have been more in control than anyone else. 1-0 West Ham, we need to be a lot better. Keep him with this squad, I don't want to change it up. I just hope Rakov isn't playing through a lot of injuries. Ward-Prowse. That was very, very close. By the way, my question for today, I know I have not really done it, but now and then I'll come up with one. What thing were you nostalgic for when you went back and it was just a bit shit? Because recently I've been in a little nostalgia era, if I'm being honest. Who did I sign to be our new right back? Was it Umar? I'm going to play Umar Slade here. I don't feel like it was him. Elena Kane is also going to join. I think you'll press him. Yeah, advance forward. Yeah, recently I've been watching a lot of stuff from 10, 11 years ago. And some of it's really good and held up. And other stuff is it's so boring. It's not even I don't mind how poorly made something is, but just believe me, you've seen this show or whatever, this channel. I don't care about how good something is, but it's just so boring and nothing happens and no one reacts, and it made me really think. And I realized, do you know what? A couple of years ago, let's say a few years ago now, I remember I bought a PS1 with all the FIFAs on it. It was like FIFA 98 all the way up to like 2006 or something. And here we go. Again, heads away. Back in the squad as Soleil's playing at right back. Ward Prowse. Oh, close to Edwards. And yeah, it was that kind of same thing where the game was just like so boring. And I remembered everything about it. And I definitely had fun. And it wasn't like the worst thing I've ever experienced. But what was FIFA 14. And I played FIFA 14 a couple months ago because I had an idea for a YouTube save, which was really fun and exciting, and I do want to do it one day. Brendan Aronson could equal things up here. What a save by Anatoly Trubin. Yeah, it could be a really fun save, and one day I definitely want to do it. But I'm going to need a lot more experience under my belt, a lot more idea of how to edit and things like that. Christensen had just fires that over, but I played that and I played it for quite a while, thinking maybe I'm just not used to this and using controls. God no, the game is so awkward and janky and terrible. Goalkeepers are non-existent. And yeah, so it's not the greatest thing. Obviously, it doesn't have to be football related. YouTube, music, TV shows, even just like people. Marcus Edwards scores from an absolutely nothing position. Marcus Edwards pops up there. He's so good, and I don't know what more he needs to do to start, other than just get good at playing on the left hand side. Yeah, he's far too good to be on our bench. But if we're going to be pushing for the title, we need guys like him to come off the bench. Feels like a perpetual goal these days. Lovely there. Our right wingers showing out as they always seem to do. Yeah, music. Anything which you guys remember being like the greatest thing in the world, and you go back to it, because I think this, like in our modern era, we are very nostalgic. Everyone is, because we've kind of realised how shitty the world is, and that's all ages. I feel like from 70s downwards, they've gone, oh my god, with everything being so much more easier to see, 24-hour news cycles and social media, people aren't hidden and aren't blind to kind of what's going on. And so we're nostalgic for the days we had no idea what was happening. So I like the idea of going back and realising, you know what, those days are a bit shit. I ain't naughty with the man of the match. And see, the Messi offer's accepted and he would take a contract. Do we just sign Lionel Messi? I can spin a story as to why Messi would want to join. Oh my fucking god. What? I mean, I didn't really see the contract. It was 135 grand a week. What? Do you know what I mean? No, like, why? Why are you so okay? Do we sign? Wait, I don't. What the fuck do I title this? We have a son. Do we sign Messi? Season 3 kicks off. The least important thing was the season. We have a son, and we might be about to sign Lionel Messi. Now, the only way I can spin that as realistic, if I'm being entirely honest, is at 38 years old, he has nothing to prove apart from one little nagging story. He couldn't do it in the Premier League, and he couldn't do it without the best team in the league. And so he put out a statement saying, I will join a Premier League team who are not previous Premier League winners, and I will prove how good I am and win the Premier League at nearly 40 years old. Madam Van Brederode can fuck out of my club. We might be able to sign Fucking. Oh my god, I'm being San Lionel Messi. And I'm so giddy. It's like it's happening in real life. Anyway, we'll be back for the game against Burnley. Oh, actually, no. I've just the time. It is half an hour in. Fuck. So my problem is, I need to record both, right? So I need to record like the next episode at minimum. Hopefully another one after that. So I can't really ask you for opinions on should I sound messy. Oh, what on earth should I do? Well, we'll be back for transfer deadline day, and you guys will see whether or not I actually decided to sound messy, or I thought that would ruin the save. Take care, everyone. See you soon.